This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be talking about the HEX Evolve Logic Backpack, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting with the materials on the exterior of the pack, we have a recycled Eco Cordura with an included antimicrobial finish. It's got a little bit of padding between the exterior and the interior, which is nice to keep your gear safe. It doesn't have any weatherproofing, which while out in like light rain, it was fine, but the material did kind of stay wet for a while, like it held on to the moisture. The interior stayed dry, but the exterior did kind of stay wet for a little bit, which is not super comfortable if you're not wearing a coat or anything like that. On the main zipper here, we have a YKK number 8 zipper, and it's got a little fabric welt covering it to keep water out, which is a nice addition. The front pocket zipper here is a YKK number 5, and it's got, the teeth are covered to keep water out as it doesn't have a fabric welt, and everything in there stayed dry. The zipper pulls here have little fake leather tabs on them, which are nice to grab onto when it's dry, but when it's wet, they did get a little bit slippery, which is nice that there is this shrink wrap plastic here to grab onto, and it has a little raised tab with the logo on it that you can grab onto, which makes grabbing that when it's raining a little bit easier. Moving to the back of the pack here, we've got these thinly padded shoulder straps that also have mesh, which are good for keeping air flowing through and dry. They aren't that padded, but it is comfortable for a short carry, if you're just commuting to work or something like that. They are just straight though. They don't like conform to your body, or they don't curve or anything like that. So for longer carries, they weren't all that comfortable, but for short carries, as I said, they do just fine. Behind there, we have a padded back panel. It's not super thickly padded, but it is comfortable for short journeys. And it also dual operates as a luggage handle pass-through. Comes right through here, which is a little odd because if you want to use it, your bag has to be sideways, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but so long as you don't have anything, if the bag isn't super empty and things aren't jostling around, it's not the biggest deal. But that is a nice addition if you're going through the airport. The top handle here isn't very padded or have much features to it at all, to be honest, but it is nice to have that added grab if you need to grab your bag in quickly and get going. On the sides of the pack here, we have 2 water bottle pockets, and they are pretty stiff and they're not very big. So a bottle here, this is a 12-ounce bottle with a little bit of extra padding on the outside of it, so it's not like a standard 12-ounce bottle, but it fills up this pocket it fills up this pocket completely. So you really can't fit a bigger bottle like this 32-ounce bottle here. Does not have a chance to fit. A 32-ounce bottle that's a little bit skinnier, like the standard Gatorade bottle, does fit, but it's pretty tight. So taller bottles do work out because this is so tight, they're not going to fall out, but a wider bottle is not going to work for you there. Moving to the front pocket here, it is fake fur lined, which is nice and soft, and also keeps anything you put in here a little bit extra padding for safety. This is a nice pocket for your wallet or your phone, or it also fits a small tablet or an e-reader like a Kindle. When the pack is completely full, there isn't that much room. Like as you can see, I have the pack pretty stuffed right now, and after I took it out, putting it back in is kind of hard because the pocket kind of shares the same space inside. So when it's completely packed like that, it is hard to get items in and out of this pocket, but flat items do okay here. Moving to the main compartment here, I actually recently took a trip to Chicago on the Amtrak, so I packed the bag similarly to how I had it when I went to Chicago. I've got the Nintendo Switch here, a small toiletries bag, my phone in this little pocket here, a little emulator here. There's 2 pen slots to bring pens or pencils along with you, And then in the bottom here, I was able to stow a pair of Bluetooth headphones, a little pouch with all my charging and headphone devices in here, and then an extra sweater for when it gets a little bit colder. So this is a 14.5 liter pack, so there is quite a bit of room in there. And as you can see in the back here, there is a laptop charger that has the same fake fur that the front pocket has. Get a good look at the texture there. So this is a 15-inch laptop, which is the largest size laptop that you're supposed to be able to fit in this pack, and it fits pretty snugly, but there is a little bit of room for moving around, and it's not, bulging out, so it is a little bit safer. When the pack is stuffed full of stuff, or even when it's not completely stuffed, it can be hard to get a laptop in and out of the pack, as I'll show you here. So we've got all that stuff in there. Getting the laptop out, you kind of have to push down on the material, and then still getting it out is not the easiest thing to do. But once you do get it out, getting it back in is just as difficult. You kind of have to push that material down, get your laptop underneath there, and shove it in. And a lot of times once you get it in there, it's not flush with the bottom, so you kind of have to pull this up and push it to get it all the way down. But other than that, the laptop compartment seems to work just fine. We'll pull that out of there so you can see the rest of the pack. There is a pocket on the front here that I put my laptop charger in. It's a pretty deep pocket, and it doesn't stretch or anything like that, but there's a lot of material here to fit bigger items. But it's this pocket that if you overstuff it, you affect what you're able to put in this front pocket. So if you're not planning on putting anything big in this front pocket here, you can kind of shove whatever you want in here. But if you overstuff it, you are limiting yourself what you can put in the front pocket there. It is just this little tiny piece of Velcro there that attaches it, which I found did come open a lot when I put larger items in there. But it's not a huge deal because normally your backpack's up like this, or if it's on its side, stuff's not really going to fall out of there, especially if it's like a laptop charger or something like that. But moving to the back panel here, there's a pocket here that is good to fit a phone. It's got a little bit of extra wiggle room here, so it's also good for smaller items, like a dongle or something like that. And then this small pocket here is kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't know what exactly to put there. I ended up, like you saw, just putting this little emulator in there because it fits very nicely. But I didn't have really another general use for that. And then obviously these two slide pen pockets. One's a little bit wider than the other one. So if you have like a stylus or something, it should fit okay in there. And then just behind that is another pocket, which is good for a small book. Or you could also put like an e-reader there or something like that. It goes down, about a hand's width there and is pretty wide, so it's good for, like I said, a book or an e-reader or a small tablet or something like that. It doesn't have any give, so what you're able to fit in there is what you're able to fit in there. All of this material here is recycled HEX heritage lining. It's a little bit slippery, which is good for water resistance and stuff like that. I wouldn't say that it's waterproof by any means, but it's easy to clean. Which is another great perk. But overall, I was very happy with how much I was able to stuff into this pack. Coming in at 14.5 liters is not, a huge size, but for commuting or like a day trip to, a nearby city or something like that, it had more than enough room to fit everything I wanted to fit inside of it. And also the gray finish is the only colorway that is available at this time, but it is a nice color, and it kind of blends into any situation. The new version that we've seen online does have a non-slip bottom, not this same material as over here. But that would be a nice addition so that if you're setting it down somewhere like on public transit or something like that, it's not slipping around. We didn't have a huge issue with this material being slippy, but it's good to know that that exists. So there you have it, the HEX Evolve Logic Backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.